Hey everybody, I wanted to share one of my devotions today from Unfinished Devotions and Prayers for Heart Under Construction. And the topic is Cause for Boasting. But he said to me, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore I will boast all the more gladly of my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ may rest upon me." 2 Corinthians 12:9. Why would anyone boast in weakness? To boast is to puff oneself up. After all, our boasting goes hand in hand with our pride. We use it to show off our strengths. We don't generally drag our weaknesses into the spotlight and gush over them. They don't puff us up. So why is Paul in his letter to the Corinthians so glad when he's weak? Perspective is the key. At the time Paul was writing, he was concerned about the church at Corinth. False apostles were discrediting him and undermining the Corinthians' faith by preaching a false gospel. Hoping to put an end to the threat, Paul first defended his ministry, 2 Corinthians 10, and then he used the false apostles' boasting against them. What, he sarcastically questioned, could any of them boast about that he could not outdo? He was a Hebrew, a descendant of Abraham, a servant of Christ, and a better one at that, because his track record far surpassed their own, 2 Corinthians 11:16-29. Yet Paul knew that such boasting was foolishness. The root of the false apostles' boasting was self. They wanted to show off what made them look good. Paul flipped this reason for boasting on its head and instead boasted in what made him look weak, like the time he made a grand escape and a basket lowered through a window, 2 Corinthians 11:32-33. Why the switch? The false apostles' boasting said, "Look at me." Paul's boasting said, "Look at him." The times he was weakest pointed directly to the one who gave strength. For the sake of Christ, then I am content with weakness, insults, hardships, persecutions, and calamities, Paul wrote. For when I am weak, then I am strong, 2 Corinthians 12:10. Paul's view of weakness wasn't limited to its downside. The weakness itself wasn't enjoyable, but Paul saw the potential for God's power to work through him in his weakness. God told Paul, and he tells us today, that his power is made perfect in weakness. The weaker we are, the more plainly we see how powerful God is to use even our weaknesses to his glory. Our God is mighty, and that's a reason to boast. God, I hate being weak, but when I feel little, I'm reminded of just how big you are. Use my weaknesses to show off your strength. Amen. I hope this blesses you guys. Remember, we are to not boast about things. It's all about God's glory. It's not about us. Pray for me. I overdid it yesterday, so I'm hurting and just really tired and just not doing well. Just pray for our finances, especially with what the weather coming up and stuff. I'm hoping Mike can work. And it's been slow with this whole EBT thing and just everything. And for my health, if you have prayer, let me know. I'd love to pray for you. God bless.